Live here. Um, hey, folks. Hope you're doing well. Um, This is my first time using Restream. We're trying it out today. Um, we'll see how this goes. I've got some it has some built-in music and all that fun stuff. So I've got it turned down super low, and I'm hoping that's okay. If you can't hear it, or if it's too loud, or whatever, please let me know, and we'll fix it. So yeah, like I said, first time using Restream. So bear with me as I get used to everything. And we will get going. I'm thinking this is going to be pretty cool because we can stream to Twitch and YouTube Live at the same time. But, it's all just new. And I'm trying to get little images and all that fun nonsense set up. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So here's what we're doing today. We are, if I can close my windows and get things set up, obviously prepared here. What we're going to do is our CEO, Steve, I talked about this a little bit last time, I think, and he's been playing around with DigitalOcean, trying to validate, just going through our DigitalOcean flow and what it looks like. And it wasn't working for him, which is not good. So we're going to go and try to figure out why. And as part of that too, I think that we will, I'm hoping that we'll have some time to create a Terraform example as well using DigitalOcean and get that into our contrib repo that we worked on last time. We got lots done last time, so that's why I wanted to do another live stream today, because I had pretty good focus going on, and I'm hoping that comes again. Let me raise my desk. I'm not sure if that's loud, so I'll pause for a second. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's see. Here's what we got. What was happening is when you create a DigitalOcean instance, let me share my screen first again. Hang on just a second here. Share screen. All right. Yeah, so let's get a browser window going and log into DigitalOcean. I'll show you guys kind of what I saw the other day. Let me drag this over here, log in, and I'll bring it back. I'm probably going to have to do Authy and all that fun stuff as well. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Okay, cool. So this is just my personal DigitalOcean project. But I've got a new Ubuntu VM out here, just a real basic one. And I'm going to log into it, and I'll show you what we're seeing. So if I look at the IP addresses here, what we're seeing is you've got the public IP at DigitalOcean, right? This 104 that we just connected to. It's also got a private kind of CIDR. And this is from as I understand it, at least, everybody gets a default VPC in DigitalOcean, and this is for connectivity within the VPC. And then there's also this 10.17.05 that's getting attached, and we couldn't figure out where that was coming from. And basically, the long and short of it is that this is what DigitalOcean calls an anchor IP. And we're going to figure out if we need that today. And I don't think we do. So what was happening when he was using Talos this anchor IP was getting picked as the IP address for the Talos node, and it was like not routable, and while Kubernetes was up and running, you couldn't get to anything, and it wasn't working. So we're going to try to figure this out a little bit today, and I'm not a networking expert by any stretch, so bear with me as we get through this. But what I had seen yesterday is, so this is specifically there for reserved IP addresses. So like if I create a static IP and I attach it to my my node, this is how it routes to this this anchor IP, I guess, is the way I'm understanding it. But what I saw was that droplets created from a custom image do not receive an anchor IP address, which does not appear to be true to us for us. But it also says they do not require one to use a reserved IP. So, if you assign a reserved IP from a custom image, reserved IP is automatically mapped to the public IPv4 address instead of the anchor IP. So the way I'm reading this is, if we import a Talos image to DigitalOcean, it's not going to get plumbed anyway. So this anchor IP exists, even though it's not supposed to. But while it exists, it'll never get plumbed. Even if you were to attach a reserved IP, I think. So that's what we're going to try to verify here. And I'm not really quite sure how we're going to verify that yet, but we're going to take it as it comes. So first things first, let's figure out how we can drop a custom image in. Let me remember how to do this. I think I can just directly upload it. If so, that's nice. So we'll go download our DigitalOcean image. And I'm going to try to keep things a little cleaner. My desktop's a mess. My directories everywhere. So I've downloaded. Oh, yeah, here, obviously. So I've downloaded this raw image. Oh no, it's a gzip. Yeah. So okay. Gunzip. I think this image is kind of fat, so it may take us a second to upload it. Yeah, so it's 1.3 gigs by the time, like it's just because it's not minimized or whatever, I think. So it's not actually that big, but we will upload it anyway. And again, like if folks, hopefully everybody can hear me okay and all that fun stuff. If not, please say so in the chat and I will fix it. Dio hacks. Here's our raw image. Let's pop that in there. We'll call it unknown. Put it in New York 3. That's fine. I'm going to call this Telos 1.3.2. And we wait. Probably faster to do this with doctl. I just don't feel like going to look that up today. I'm not even sure I've got it installed, so we're not going to mess with it. But yeah, let me open another window. Oh, come on. You're going to make me log in again? Surely not. Okay. So if I'm looking at this box, this is kind of what I'm talking about on the networking tab. So I've got this public address. We've got this private network address, and that's that like within the VPC that we were seeing, right? So it's the 132.0.2. And it actually makes no mention of this anchor IP. It took me a little bit of digging to find it. And the way I found it was through the metadata server and poking around there. So what you can do is like 169, 254, 169, 254, I think. Well, let's see. I know I've already done this, so let me just find it. Yeah, what did I do wrong? Oh, it's probably slash metadata. Yeah, so if you hit the metadata endpoint, you probably have seen this in other clouds. It's pretty much the same everywhere. But we have an interfaces endpoint we can hit. And then there's public and private. So the private one points to that that VPC we talked about. Let's see, 0, blah. Good grief. So that's that, yeah, 132.0.2. Sorry, it's hard to see, but the public one is where we'll see this anchor IP. 0. So there's IPv4, and this is the endpoint for all of our like actual the public IP and stuff, and then we have this anchor IPv4. And that's that 0.5 address. So again, let's see here. Is our image done? No. Good grief. What's happening is Talos is picking that up as, at least in the case of Steve's testing with this, and we'll see if that's the same for us. But it was picking that up as it's like the Kubernetes like IP address, the IP address for the box, and it wasn't plumbed anything. So I'm thinking what we're going to wind up doing is trying to ignore that based on the metadata. And in Talos, we have some what we generally call the platform code, and that's kind of per platform, some specific stuff. It's how we go. Thanks, Ty. How we go and grab like the IP addresses, especially for places like Equinix, where they do some interesting networking, but it's all presented to you in metadata. So I'm thinking we're going to call the metadata in the platform code, dig out that anchor IP, and basically try to ignore it, is what I'm thinking right now. And we'll have to figure out, we're going to get into some interesting parts of Talos here. So we'll get into the platform code, and then we'll have to build an image and import it. So we may wind up doing DOCTL anyway if it's going to take that long to upload. But we'll build an image, import it, make sure it works, and then we can PR it up. So we'll start there, and if that somehow happens quickly, which we'll see, we'll move on to doing a Terraform example. Okay, stuck pending here. Let's go. So I'm trying to figure out how we can test. I'm trying to think through how we can test this reserved IP. So like we could create a Talos node. I think this would work. Okay, so if we create a Talos node, Kubernetes comes up, picks the wrong IP address. We can attach a reserved IP and see if it actually plumbs in that private IP that doesn't work. And if it does, then if we were to curl that, I think on 6443, if Kubernetes is actually up, it will give us an error, but it will show us that it's plumbed. And if it is, then what I'm thinking is not going to work. Because we can't just ignore it, because if you attach reserved IP, it would get plumbed. But it says it won't for custom images, so we need to validate that. Their docs say it won't, at least. This has been one of the more interesting parts of Talos since the inception of Sidero Labs as a company, is just basically trying to reverse engineer the way that networking in every various cloud works, because it's all so weird and so different between them. we spent days when not too long after we first started the company on GCP, and the way they do DHCP settings and these classless routes they set and all this fun stuff that wasn't terribly well documented. And so, yeah, it's always a thing. I'm not sure why this is pending, man. Let's go. What's the problem here? See if it'll just pop up in here. Probably not yet. Custom images. No. Good grief. Okay. We're stuck waiting on it then. This is why we need to be in the DO marketplace. I think we reached out to them once a while ago and it didn't quite go anywhere. So we need to do that again. I need to do that again. It'd be nice to just have a built-in, at least for the basic testing stuff. Trying to think. I guess we can go ahead and look at some platform code if we want. That might be something to do in the meantime. All right. Let's see. Should blow that up some. Platform. I think I want the V1 Alpha one. So the way that the platform code works is it's basically an interface that we switch on, and I'm sorry, it's not an interface. We read it, so we specify the platform and the extra args or the kernel args. It's like talos.platform. I think it equals metal or AWS or whatever. And then we kind of switch on that and say, okay, our platform is this. And then I want to say it is an interface, except at least for the platform part. But anyway, it's been a while since I've looked at this. So what we're doing here is nothing too wild. The way this works is we've got some constants here for these various metadata endpoints that we're interested in. So we'll probably add another one. And then the configuration, this is how we actually go download. Like if you pass it user data in versus just booting the VM and applying a machine config. Like if you pass it in as user data, we actually go and fetch that. Here's how we like override the kernel args to make sure that like the console works in DigitalOcean and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Okay. So let's figure out what's going on here. This is where we go fetch the host name. This is us fetching the external IP, and then we create a platform network config. So that's got a bunch of addresses and stuff. And then, yeah, so get the host name. That's how we're pinning that to the network config, adding in external IPs. Okay, so it's not clear to me that we can ignore one in here. I don't think. But I think we do that somewhere. So I may have to check. I may have to ask a little bit about that internally. Because I thought there's some, I think there's some platform where we are ignoring one of the addresses or something. So I need to figure out where that's happening. See if our image is ready. One thing at a time here. What is happening? Good grief. guess let me set up doctl and see if I already have it. Nope. Okay. Because I could read, RTFM and actually figure out how to log in. Installing, authenticating. That's what we want. Authentic. Okay. Oh no. All right. Let me drag this to. Let me fire up a new terminal so I can do this outside of the public view. Sorry, I've got some tokens on here, but okay. Okay. All right, let's see if that works now. DSCTL compute. I assume there's droplet list. Sweet. All right, cool. DSCTL configured, working. Excellent. So let's see if our image is done. It's probably not. Seems to be taking forever. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is here. I'm gonna try uploading one with DSCTL and see if that gives me a better result. I think we've got some guides out here, and I think it's in there on how to do this. You telling me I can give it the gzip and just let it ride? I could have done that this whole time. Okay, let's try that. Guess I should specify what region it is. I think I want NYC. Is it just NYC or NYC3? I'm going to try NYC first. Give it a marginally different name. And I'm just going to go grab the link from the releases and see if we can just pop it in there. And if it doesn't, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. That was quick, which makes me think it probably doesn't work. Let's see. Okay. Now we're having a rough time this morning. Man, this is painful. I've got to be missing something. So what happens? Confused. So let me grab it one more time. Let's try to upload the gzipped version of it. See if that does anything. No, it won't even let me do that. Weird. Oy, fun times, man. I probably need list user, I think. I'm stuck in limbo here. Yeah, I don't think we're doing anything too wild here. This should just work. It's also concerning that our one didn't show up. I'm thinking that that's because I just gave it the link to the releases page and that redirected or something, and who knows. That's my assumption. So in here we talk about putting it in a space and then getting a public. So let's try that, I guess. I don't know. Shooting in the dark now. Looks like that needs to be NC3 maybe. Home. Okay, grief. DO hacks. Huh. It's not letting me upload the gzip. Okay, guess I need to set up S3CMD. Why would this be easy? All right, let me drag this window again so I can configure S3CMD. seems to be working. And then usage. That's what I want to see. Make bucket. We don't need that. All right, let's list a bucket, see if it's there. Sweet. Okay. Make sure my image isn't there. Nope. Okay. We're having a bad time here today. Okay. Okay, so it's just a put and then a path. That's easy enough. Oh, that's why. Good grief. I'm losing my mind. Helps if I move it to the right directory. That's why I couldn't find it. It's not what I wanted to upload. Good grief. There we go. Okay. Much smaller. Much easier. Then I'm assuming I need to make that public. Let's get back to DigitalOcean's. All right. Into our space. Quick share. So does that work? I can just go grab it. Wait, that's quite the link there. Can I just make it public? Or does it just work? Yeah, forbidden. How do I make it public? Manage permissions. That would help. Okay. Now. Okay, cool. It's there. Cool. So now let's try using that as our image URL. I don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss here. This cat's still pinning. We're gonna spend the whole time just uploading an image, I guess. That's fun. Okay. I think that might need to be NYC3. We'll see if it complains at me or not. It's kind of the same behavior it gave me last time. Nothing really to go on. Okay, the first one we uploaded finally became available. Only uploaded 24 minutes ago. Excellent. Still not sure about this one we just pushed. Let's see if it gives me anything to go if I verbose it. I think it was just dash V, if I remember right. Excellent. Nothing. Sweet. Very cool. Very useful. Okay, I guess. All right. Here's what I want to try. I want to try validating that um, this does work. That this does not plumb that anchor IP. So let's get a droplet going. Fine. Basic, regular, cheapest I can get it. I'd rather have more RAM than that. Let's do 4 gigs. If I don't name it, I won't know what it is. So let's do that. Droplet created. So this should come up, boot into maintenance mode. And then, yeah, so it'll boot into maintenance mode, and then we can create and apply a config. I'm not going to get into load balancers or anything right now. I don't think we need them to prove this out. Can I see console here? Access, maybe? The recovery console. Yeah, so we're here in maintenance mode. Yeah, so it's picking that up as its address, that 1017.06. Is that the anchor IP? Yeah. Okay. So it's just gonna go ahead and do that straight away. Okay. So either way, let's gen a config. Anchor array. So I'm gonna give it the public IP of the node. And then hope it'll let me apply. Well, that doesn't work. I don't think. All right. I think I'm going to have to work around this a little bit. I think I'm going to have to actually do this through user data because I don't think I can apply to this, but I can try. Let's see if I can even hit it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess we can apply config. Weird. Okay. So interesting that it's not. Well, okay, let's see what I do have. Can I do addresses here? I think I can. Let's get addresses maybe. Okay. Yeah, so we've got that up as the external. It's interesting that that's not in the list. If I did if I was looking at the console, we're supposed to be kind of gathering everything we can, and adding it to this nodes thing. I think so. That's a little fix we might need to do. A little quality of life fix. Take a note of that. Okay. Yeah, so let's apply a config, I guess. Okay. So I just pop that control plane YAML. Give it the public IP as the Kubernetes endpoint. I need to bootstrap it. So I'm just setting up, because I should get my pencil out of my mouth. Just setting up the config to make sure that it has the proper endpoints that I can talk to it without having to specify that flag every time. And then exporting the Talos config as well. Okay, Talos CTL message. This is my evergreen testing of making sure it's working. It is. Cool. So it just needs a bootstrap. And then that'll bring etcd online. And then Kubernetes. Let's go ahead and follow that so we can keep a closer eye. So it's rendering out the static pods. It looks scary for a minute, but it'll do its thing. And so, I mean, I think the reason that it does work, like it does actually bring Kubernetes up, is because we use localhost for everything kind of internally, right? So the kubelet's talking to a local host and stuff like that. So I think it can get to that, get to the API server. Even though that anchor IP isn't really plumbed. So let's see. I mean, I can get a kube config, but I don't think I don't think I can get to Kubernetes. So I think that's fine. I'm dead wrong about that. Okay. Okay. How did Steve get himself in this situation then? Let's see. Let me go back to Slack and look. All right, it says, I followed a guide, made 3 control plane nodes on the load balancer, bootstrapped node, so far so good. Load balancer sees the bootstrap node is up, the control plane, kubelet's running, etcd is running. However, the other 2 control plane nodes are not running. So I think I did this wrong. Issue seems to be there's an extra IP address on each 0 that they're attempting to communicate to each other with, but that address doesn't work. Okay. Okay, so this only rears its ugly head, apparently. In an HA fashion, so I should have paid attention to that. Okay. Yeah, come on. Does it have a leading space? Yes. Good grief. Okay, well, we got a snazzy DOCTL example now, so we'll use that. This is why we need a Terraform provider, or an example at least, rather. I keep calling every Terraform example a Terraform provider. I don't know why. Region equals NYC3. And let's blast out a load balancer. We're going to do this straight from the docs. Load balancer created. Excelente. Did I do that wrong, or has it not been assigned yet? Let's go take a look. Oh, yeah, still kind of doing its thing, I guess. I've noticed that load balancers, especially in Vulture, I've been messing around with our Vulture contrib yesterday and today, and that thing, creating the load balancer takes forever, it feels like. Come on, you. We're doing a lot of hurry up and wait today. Okay, there's our IP. Cool. So yeah, we're just gonna. So we're 11.443 on the load balancer. Okay. Clean up a little bit out here. Okay. So there's our control plane. Cool. Our control plane YAML rather. Well, what is my SSH key fingerprint? Can I see it out here? I'm going to see if I can see the whatever the fingerprint is for this SSH key. I could probably do this locally, but I'm not super double sure. It's totally ignored by Talos, so it doesn't really do anything anyway. But I think you have to specify one. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. Oh, good grief. Now I gotta go find my image ID. It's always something. So that should create a control plane node. And I guess, I think it's the same, but I think I need 2 more of those. Which makes me wonder why we don't have that in some bash loop. Yeah. Okay. right, got some droplets created now. Excellent. Hey, nice. Okay. So those should have gotten user data. Let's check the console on them. Yeah, so Cuba. Yeah, we're waiting on Bootstrap. Okay. Yeah, okay. So same deal. Let me grab the IP for this one. Make sure dmessage works. Cool. All right. Now let's follow the bootstrap. So this will come up. I mean, this worked fine last time, so that's good. But I think we want to see if these other nodes are actually able to check in. So let's. Yeah, I mean, what's going on here? Okay. Oh, it says SED maybe specifically. That's barfing. Yeah. Okay. So choosing that 10.17 for etcd, I think, is our issue. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I know of, and that we can use to validate this a little bit. I think that we can specify in our machine config. I think there's a way to say, like, this is the IP. This is the set of IPs I want you to use. Maybe not. I'm trying to think if we support, like, in etcd. Let's see what our options are for etcd in the Talos machine config. So we have listen subnets and advertise subnets. So we could test this by specifying these to be that known. So we know. Yeah. Okay. So we know this VPC subnet, and we could say that, like, we want to force it to use that subnet. For etcd to see if that works. And then we can see if, like, it's kubelets barfing too. It appears to be mostly just etcd, I think. Like, it's not even up, so kubelet won't come up. Okay, let's try that. Let's just double check that's exactly what we're seeing, and then maybe in the etcd code, the etcd setup code, we need to figure out how we ignore this. Yeah, okay. So let's start there. I'm gonna blow these. Let's do that with DSCTL. Droplet. Delete. Assuming I need a name. Yeah. Will it let me do multiples? That'd be sweet. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, excellent. Oh. All right, so what we're going to do then is create a config patch to force etcd to use this this internal VPC CIDR and see if that fixes our problem. And if so, then we at least know what we need to go do to make sure. So let's try that out. Okay, so let's open VS Code here. cd patch.yaml. Let's see if our example has got at least the path I need. So it's just cluster etcd. And then, okay, advertise subnets and listen subnets. Okay. Double check these are right in a second. Advertised and listen subnets. Yep, cool. Back out to our VPC, grab that. We're going to do it in MIC3. So I'm going to copy those. And just say, I only want you to listen and advertise on these, on an address in this space. And so if we gen a config, I'm going to pass a help. And then so you can do a config patch flag to gen config and then use @file to give it a file. So that's what we're going to do. Config-patch at oh god, what did I name it? etcd-patch.yaml. And then back that out. Let me check my load balancer real quick too. Make sure it's empty. I think it's just doing tag based stuff. Yeah, okay, we're good. No, not config path, config patch. Okay. And then in my control plane, I want to see it's under etcd. So those are specified, which is what we want to see. Now let's recreate those nodes. All right, nodes coming up. I need to go through and bootstrap again. Discovery service might be confused by this. We'll have to see. All right, so we'll config endpoints again. Point to our first control plane node. Test our D message. Working. And then bootstrap. So that one's cool. Should be coming up. So now let's see if that fixed at least etcd. So this is control plane 2. Successfully promoted the etcd member. Okay. All right. So what does that tell us? What does that mean we need to do? I guess let me make sure the kubelet comes up first, but I think it will. Maybe not. Let's see. So load balancer, are they in service? Maybe not quite yet. We'll see. I think we're still waiting on the load balancer. Hoping. It's saying green though. It says collecting but green. So I'm not quite sure why that's not working. So we'll check the settings for it. 443 to 6443 should be fine. Yeah, okay, boot sequence done. Now we're rolling. Well, I say that. Good grief. Let's see what the kube config looks like. I mean, seems pretty reasonable to me. I don't think our load balancer is letting us through. Whoops. Did I miss anything? It should be passing health checks, I think. I mean, Kubernetes is up. What am I looking for? Load balancers. Whoops. It's showing a node. It's only showing one, though, which is interesting. Scaling configuration. Maybe that's just one load balancer node, I guess. Health checks against 6 what? And this seems fine. So if I hit one of these directly, it would probably work. 443. Yeah. Okay. So it seems like we got a couple of things going on here. See, that's what I don't like. It's picking up that internal IP. Okay, that's our. Need to get rid of that somehow, some way. And our load balancer is not working. I don't understand why, because it's serving on 6443, and that should be fine. Quite confused on this. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm following why this is. That's just because it's not actually going through. That should be 6. No, I know it's 443. So, seems like we've got something going on with our load balancer as well. I'm going to make a note of that and maybe come back to it. Okay, so Noel's saying the kubelet also needs to be excluded from that subnet, which is probably true. But I'm confused as to why Kubernetes is up and the load balancer is not, and I'm not sure if that's related, and it may not be. But it doesn't hurt to try it. So let's exclude it from the kubelet too, just to make sure, like, see if that's really the cause of all of our grief. All right, so kubelet config. Valid subnets, I think, is probably what we want. Okay. So then we also need. I'm just gonna pop these. Let me rename this. Call it subnet patch. Machine kubelet. Node IP valid subnets. All right. So Gina config that removes or specifies all of those. And then we'll create again, I guess. Create them backwards this time, because why not? Okay, so that one's ready for Bootstrap. And just for the record, so folks know, it doesn't really matter which of the control plane nodes you bootstrap. It's totally fine to pick any random one of them, as long as you only do one. It doesn't really matter which. Telctl-n dmessage. Cool. What'd I do? There we go. Okay. It wasn't quite where it needed to be, I think. Okay. So let's look at another node. So if I pick on control plane 1, it should be doing its own thing, trying to connect in the background. Yeah. Okay. Can't type. I'm going to set this in locally too. Override it. Nope. Well, that should work. All this seems fine. But still no love. So I don't think it was our kubelet setting. think if I override this, it'll work fine. Yeah. So that did fix the internal IP and the kubelet, I guess, and what gets registered. So that's helpful. So we do need to. I mean, we just need to be able to ignore this completely. This whole CIDR or this whole anchor IP. So their problem remains the same. But we're still not. This load balancer is bothering me, man. I mean, there's nothing interesting here at all. It looks totally standard. What do we create? Give this tag name, health check, TCP to 6443. Seems fine. Forward 443 to 6443 also seems fine. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that on a load balancer. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It's got to be 443. It's like, yeah, it's like there's no backends. It's like the load balancer's not picking up backends. Looks like we need that. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing going on here. Yeah, I mean, like I would say it's like maybe a firewall thing, but I can hit it directly and it works just fine. So it's not that. It can't be. There's no firewalls even in the mix. We don't even have one. Yeah, I don't know. This is bizarre. Noel telling me to get some routes. Let's do it. So this 1017 is still certainly in the mix here. But it's still, I mean, I don't know. I don't, not sure I quite understand. I mean, it works fine. The Kubernetes API server's up on 6443 for like at least at the public IP. And I mean, I think the way that the health checks are written, it should check all IPs. Okay, so Noel's saying he thinks that the load balancer is bringing traffic in over the internal IP, and then when it reaches the node, they might come back out over the wrong network, over that 1017 network, which, I mean, seems as good a guess as any. I could try. I've got this box, this Ubuntu box in the same VPC, so I can try to curl it over the. Yeah, I can try that, I guess. So, well, is it? It's an MIC3, I think. Yeah. So if I curl, let's see. Well, I'm over here trying to get nodes, knowing full well I can't get nodes that way. So, like, I wonder if I curl this, what would happen? Yeah, it's up. I mean, yeah. Noel, all right, you're a wild man. He's wanted to drop a privileged pod in, delete the routes, and see if that fixes things. At least at the load balancer level. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Why not? And this is a fairly common thing folks might run into, so it's worth showing. In Talos, like if there are certain things you want to do on a box that we don't really support yet, or you're trying to troubleshoot or something like that, a privileged pod is a lot of times a pretty good way to go. And I've got this. Got this pod that I kind of keep in my bash history here. That it just runs as like a. Oh, hold on. Do I have everything here? Yeah, I got. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, that's not. I guess I need to give it a privilege flag, don't I? Noel, will you? Yeah, there we go. I was just about to ask you. I knew you had this command somewhere. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. So 2 commands. First thing we're going to do is label the default namespace to allow privileged pods. And then here's Noel's root pod. I'm going to just remove the Ubuntu because it bothers me that it's the NetShoot image and not an Ubuntu image. Oh, hang on. So a couple things. That's in kube system. That's not what we want. And I need to specify my kube config. And that should put me. Yeah, okay. And then that'll pull the container down. Pull the container image down and schedule it in the default namespace, and hopefully give us what we want. We'll see. Looks like I might be having a hard time pulling or something. Good grief. Are we not actually running? Core DNS is stuck, so is Flannel. Okay. But what? Let me just override my queue config path because I'm going to forget it. I know it. Do I have something goofy going on? Like I've got conflicting subnets or something between like my VPC and what what our defaults are in Kubernetes. Weird indeed. Weird indeed. So, well, I mean, I guess we can see. So we're doing a 132. I don't know. Let's see what the defaults are. I can't remember what it's called. Cider? Will that give me there? Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a 9612. So maybe. Because wouldn't that conflict with a 132? Let's see. I can't remember these for the life of me, so we're going to pop them in. Let me just copy it and make sure I got it right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't conflict. I don't think. Let's make sure this is just a /24. No, it's a 16. So does it conflict with our pod? No, shouldn't. We're good. Yes, so that should take the whole 10.136 address space. Or I'm sorry, it's 10.132. All right. Well, fun times. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So it's trying to talk to the Kubernetes service, the default service, and getting it to IO timeout, like it's not up and running. Strange. That's not what I do. So I mean, it's just crash looping. Guess let's make sure the nodes actually do look all right. Ah, yeah, that's true. I don't think it's going to change anything, but true. I still don't think it can pull the image because nothing's working, but yes. This is wrinkling my brain now. Yeah, all these warnings are to be expected. I mean, you can't talk to the load balancer, so that's fine. I'm not sure why that. I don't know why that. Yeah, I don't either. Or Noel, you're saying about the root pod not scheduling. It's not scheduling because I think the nodes kind of aren't ready. Yeah, Winder, that's a good idea. Something like that. We've talked about having some kind of built-in toolbox debug thing that allows you to kind of get access. We've talked about it for sure. It's always a matter of balancing that with security and just doing it the right way and the way we'd want to do it. But that is a good idea. Something like that for sure. I'm not sure where to go from here. And if Flannel's acting like it can't talk to the API server, the endpoints are there. Yeah, recreate the cluster is fine until it still doesn't work. Huh. I'm half one. I mean, I feel like I don't think any of my ciders are conflicting, which was kind of my first gut instinct. Yeah, man, this is weird. Ty, you've not missed much. We've not made much progress. We're unfortunately, it goes that way some days. But yeah, what we're hitting is this fail to create subnet manager. It's trying to talk to the default Kubernetes service and can't. Yeah, so that's kind of what we got. I don't think the load balancer should be in the mix for this at all. It's not because the load balancer's not up, I don't think. We don't have some weird chicken and egg thing going on. Because if I get my nodes, I mean, I would assume that goes for that service. If I get my endpoints, I mean, I can see that it's using the internal IPs here, and that should be working. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm half tempted to like create a new VPC though with a different cider block. So yeah, Windor. No, that's a good idea actually. The listen subnets, just ignoring the anchor cider as opposed to specifying them specifically. That might be the right thing to try. I'm gonna create this and then we can mess with it if we have to, but hopefully we won't have to. Yeah, Windor. The 132 address is for the pod IPs, like the pod IP range. No, I'm sorry. Um, the 132 is the VPC cider, right, for DO, and then the 1092 is our service cider, our service subnet for Kubernetes, and then 10244 for the pods. But I looked at them in a cider calculator. I don't think they conflict, which is again what I was kind of scared of. But I think we're good. Okay, so we can try Noel's idea first. This valid subnets, we can use like a bang in front of a cider to say like this is what we don't want to do. I'm not sure if we can do that for etcd. Let me look at that. So for listen subnets we can. Advertise subnets we cannot. If listen okay. Well, I don't know that we can't. We might be able to. Yes, we can. Okay. I just didn't hit the down arrow. Sweet. Let's try that first. That seems like a reasonable enough thing to try. Hell, now I've got to remember what our what that range was we don't want. It's always a 10.17, I think. Let's see. I think I can use internal IP here. Maybe I can't. Good grief. Oh, it's because I was using insecure flag. That would be why. Okay. Yeah, so anything in the 10.17, the /16, I think. I think that's what we want to ignore. I guess let me check one other node just to be on the safe side, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah. Okay. So basically we just want anything but do what you will. We just don't want this cat. And I think that's got to be in quotes, maybe. If I saw right on the examples, let me go double check that. We don't really say. I saw it somewhere. Was it kubelet? Configs? Yeah, okay. Single quote. Let's do that. Just to make sure that bang doesn't break us. Okay. Just delete our control plane nodes again. Jana config. Make sure that got what we want. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see if that does what we want it to do.
So I mean, this is all just the research process, the proving process. I mean, at the end of the day, this is still broken, right? So
We have to figure out how to take those anchor IPs and ignore them. Um, Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're going to get there today because we wound up down this rabbit hole. But at least we kind of know where we need to go. Sometimes that's most of the battle, honestly. Just going to go grab that kubeconfig and bring it down locally too, because I've got a bunch of stuff in my history that's trying to make use of it. Still don't really see why this would change anything, but I don't know. So let's point to the voxel directly. Still not up yet. Interesting. Is it barfing? Stuck waiting for etcd spec. That seems weird. Did I bootstrap? I think I did. Yeah, bootstrap request to see received. This is going downhill fast. Get another control plane node. See what it looks like. I mean, we're waiting for etcd because the other one's not up. The bootstrap one's not up. Yes. Let me double check that's the one I did. Yeah. Waiting for the CRI to be up. Can't calculate the LCD listing address. Where'd you see that? Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, so using the bang results in it not working. Okay. So that seems broken, I guess. Right. Get RD. SCD specs. There's that one. So I did a cider. Which is the 1017. Oh, that's why I did a .8 instead of a 0/16, I think. God. All right. It's not really like a valid cider. All right, let's try one more time. If this doesn't work, it's definitely time to call it a day. Yeah, we're way down the rabbit hole here. So, yeah, the 10.17 cider Noel is that's the anchor IP cider block. It looks like it's a /16 from what like get addresses told me. Is it really a .0? Weird. Okay. I'm not sure that's. Still think we're probably. Still seems like we're busted somewhere. Doesn't seem to like that. The bang method, at least for that CD stuff. Yeah, something's jacked up with it creating that CD spec. So etcd came up okay. earlier. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it was etcd. I think it was mostly the Kubernetes that was jacked up. Let's try this, I guess. We'll keep etcd because it was working, and then try to use. Yes, we probably will need Andre's help. um, this is feeling strange for sure. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try this last bit here, see where that puts us, and then I think too late, Noel. Already blew it away, man. But you're right, that would have been a good idea to just edit the machine config in place, because I don't know, I should have done that, but here we are. Not quite up yet. There you go. All right, so there's our bootstrap command. Might be a good point about like using the bang for the kubelet, because it should also I would assume it should also register the external IP for the nodes, but I don't know if it's gonna make any difference. Hmm. Grave. It doesn't register the externals, actually. That might be fun. Oh, it's registering the externals as internals. That's weird. Still looks like no dice on the Load balancer. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Yeah, looks like it might be in the same Q flannel hole too. See if it does. Yep. Okay. I think we've got more questions than answers today, but I think this is the place to stop. It's been 2 hours. So I'm going to be out of town for most of the week next week, but we might try to do a live stream on Monday or something if I can get around it with meetings. Maybe we'll continue some of this work. In the meantime, I might chat with some folks internally to see if we can figure out what the heck is going on here. So yeah, but anyway, thanks for hanging around. Thanks for playing with us today. Take it easy, everyone.